The grips are nice and comfortable. The barrel, oh, what's this guy doing? Okay, I've just taken the Himalayan 450 for a test ride. Now it's time to take out the Shotgun 650 from Royal Enfield. And yeah, I've been looking forward to test riding this bike. I'm hoping it's a cross between the Continental and Interceptor. But let's get on it and go for a spin. First thing I notice when I sit on it is it's very neutral, very comfortable riding position already. I can tell we're going to get on quite nicely. Fire straight up. Nice little purr. Let it warm up for a little bit, I think. Just sitting here, we've got the speedo in, looks like miles and kilometres, which is interesting. I don't see that in Australian bikes very often. It's always just kilometres. Fuel gauge just sitting there. I'm assuming that's my gear position. We'll see. Don't have my glasses on, so we'll see how we go. Clear neutral light just here. And this is your little device that hooks up with your phone to give you some GPS navigation. Alright, let's go. Yeah, it's gear position. I can just see now. Switch to first. Feels very light. Feels small too compared to the Himalayan 450 I just test rode. Nicely balanced there. Wow, so different to the it's just so different to the Himalayan 450. It actually feels more approachable. I think it's because it's lower and carries its weight lower to the ground. Even though this is a heavier bike, I'd imagine. I'll look at the do a comparison of the figures there. Definitely notice a more torquey 650cc engine. There's no substitute for cubes, for cubic inches or cc's. Get these mirrors sorted. I'm definitely seeing well, half of the mirrors are obscured by my arms. I tell you what, already I'm feeling that this bike is a nice blend between the Interceptor and the Continental. You're sitting a little bit more, leaning a little bit more onto the bars than the Interceptor, but not as severe as the Continental. Yeah, I'm liking this bike already. Big fan of this 650cc engine, and it sounds so nice with a nice exhaust system, some custom mufflers on it, especially once you get up into the rev range, sorry. Handling's very sweet, nice and direct. The handlebars are nice actually. They sort of, it's interesting, they turn up a little bit on the ends. And it just puts your arms and your hands in a nice position. The seats feels really comfortable. It feels wide. Definitely the most comfortable seat I've tested in the 650cc range, whether it be Continental or Interceptor. Yeah, this riding position is. I'm liking this riding position better than the Interceptor and better than the Continental GT. It looks like it's got 29 kilometres on it, so this is a brand new bike that's just been actually it's just been released in Australia. We've been waiting for yonks to get the Shotgun 650 here, and now it's here we can finally get to test ride, and I'm so pleased that I did. What I like about leaning forward a little bit into the wind is, for that very reason, it just assists you on the freeway and on the highway when you're going into a stiff headwind or just even into the breeze at 100 kilometres or 60 miles an hour. Being able to lean forward into it just takes a lot of pressure off your body and just makes the ride that bit easier. Having said that, this bike with a fly screen, just to take a little bit more off you, would be ideal. I think that's all I would need in this situation on this bike. For the sort of riding I would do. You can hear there, the suspension is firm, it's not bottoming out, it's just firm. Nice through there. The Royal Enfields really are amazing value for money. And if you're starting out, as a beginner or even returning to riding, I think the Royal Enfield range is definitely one you should look at. Yeah, nice slick gearbox, nice and agile through there. Nice pull from a 650cc parallel twin engine. Engine has a nice sound, but it would be even better with a nice pipe. Just swing it into here, no drama. Yeah. I'm already pinning this down as my favourite 650cc Royal Enfield. With the Interceptor, I find I'm reaching for the bars a little bit, and if I bought the Interceptor, I'd want to change the handlebars just to bring them a little bit closer to me. The Continental I found better than the Interceptor actually, because I was leaning more onto the bars, but this is just the sweet spot between the two of them. School pickup time, so I'm going to have to just take it a little bit easy here. Now that gear position indicator is small, but I can make it out even without my glasses, so that's good. Instead of time 3:17, oh no, it's a kilometres 3. Must be a time there, 2:42 is it? Again, this is a bike brand new that will still be running in, and I feel a little slight vibration through the pegs and that at certain RPMs, but I reckon all that will go away once it's been run in. As I experienced with my Indian Chief, it was stiff and vibey at the start, but once after it's done a few thousand kilometres and it's all run in, everything just smooths right out. Nice pull from that 650cc engine. Take me up to speed. Now compared to the Himalayan 450 I just test rode, I like this engine better for this sort of work. For highway, freeway, yeah, definitely the 650. If you're going to be doing that sort of riding, this will serve you a lot better. This is where we get to see what the riding position's like with a full-on breeze at 100 kilometres an hour or 60 miles an hour, and this is quite comfortable. I am being pulled back onto the bars. I can feel pressure on the front of on the back of my fingers, but it's nowhere near as bad as it could be. I think thanks mainly due to the riding position. The seat's very comfortable, nice and wide. I like wide seats. Having a larger frame, I'm 6'1". The wider the seat, the better for me. I think being taller, I'm not having to worry about the reach to the ground. Obviously, for a wider seat, for your shorter legs, it makes it more difficult for you. But in my case, it doesn't really worry me. So I prefer the extra comfort of a wide seat. The grips are nice and comfortable. The barrel, oh, what's this guy doing? Dude, pay attention, mate. Jeez. Let's drop it in here. Nice. Fire it out the other side. Geez, Royal Enfield impressed me with their engines. I love bikes that have characterful engines, and just I think it's the heart of a motorcycle. Indian has it, Harley has it, Royal Enfield has it. Even for stock bike, it sounds pretty good actually, you know. But it would sound better with some more open mufflers for sure. Now the clutch has a feel like the clutch cable is a bit sticky. I'll mention it to him when I get back. I reckon it just needs a bit of lubrication. Get up to freeway speed. Going through the gearbox nice and slick. Beautiful. What I like about this seat is I can slide my bum back a bit. Go to 110. Which lets me lean forward more onto the bars. And yeah, this is quite doable. But it would definitely benefit from a fly screen, just something to take a bit more off my torso, and then I could sit on this bike for quite a while. But it's nowhere near the worst I've been on in terms of a naked bike for wind pressure on your body. The more upright you sit, the worse it is. And this is sort of leaning me forward into the wind a bit, so it's really good. The Continental GT is better, because I'm leaning over even more again, but this is closer to the Continental GT in terms of ride comfort without any fairing or any screen. It's closer to the Continental GT than it is to the Interceptor. Now again, suspension is firm, but controlled, and I don't feel like it's certainly not bottoming out firm, but it is it's firm, but I don't mind it. So it's firm, but controlled and compliant at the same time, if that makes sense. I'm getting slight vibes through the foot pegs, but nothing through the hand grip, so maybe if I grip really hard I can feel it. With a relaxed grip I'm not feeling any vibes. I think that's the other thing too, some people who may be more susceptible to feeling vibrations through the handlebars, maybe the types of rider that grip the bars more firmly. And if I grip the bars firmly, yeah, I can feel vibes, but with a very relaxed hand I don't feel any vibes on my from the handlebars. But the vibes I'm feeling are more high frequency, which is more of an annoying type, and but I do believe it's because this bike's still got to be running, and you know, it'll smooth right out once it's done a few thousand kilometres. And actually, if I think about it, I can feel the vibes in my seat as well. So that's at 110 kilometres an hour, which is about 70 miles per hour. There is no tacho by the looks, so I can't really see what RPMs I'm doing, or is that those tiny little numbers there? I can't read it if there is. Yeah, this is a really nice motorcycle. It's confidence inspiring, feels easy to ride. The gears are nice and slick. The clutch feel, like I said, I think the cable needs some lubrication, feels a bit sticky. It's like low speed, very manageable, be easy around town this bike, and confident on the highway, so yeah, it's good. But I'm really liking this riding position. My legs are comfortable, at a comfortable angle. Don't forget I'm 6'1". It doesn't feel like a small bike. Actually, after getting off the Himalayan it did feel like a small bike, but it's very comfortable for my sizes. The riding position is really, really good. They've nailed it. Brakes are good. Got good feel at the lever. You know, not. I don't feel like I've got the state-of-the-art Brembos, but they're good. I love how slick this gearbox is and how nice the changes are. Alright, we're in 5th gear. We'll go from 80 to 100. Let's see what that's like. You know, it's a 650, but you can't expect mind-bending acceleration. Try and keep the bike as clean as possible. Avoid those muddy sections. Again, these bumpy sections, this road is, I'm noticing the bumps more on this than I did the Himalayan 450. Only because the suspension's firmer. I think preload wise I could back this off a little bit for my weight. I reckon that it'd make the suspension a little bit more compliant. And it's something, you know, it's with any bike. You really want to play with the suspension and exhaust all adjustment availability before even thinking about buying new shocks. Because it's amazing how much you can tune into the suspension to match your own weight and riding style. Even just by simply adjusting preload. I think the styling of the Shotgun 650 is pretty cool too. I think they've done a really nice job with this bike. Different from the Interceptor, different from the Continental GT. Has its own distinct, unique look. Yeah, it looks cool. So who should look at this bike? Well, I think you know, first bike, fantastic option, and returning riders. You know, if you're looking to get back into motorcycling and looking for something that's got satisfying performance but's not intimidating. It doesn't feel intimidating in any way for someone who hasn't ridden, for a returning rider. I would say it doesn't feel intimidating, but even for a learner, you know, it feels very approachable. And I have to be careful what I say there because, you know, I've had 35 years riding experience, so owning and riding all sorts of bikes, and you know, jumping onto this, it feels very easy and light, manageable. But I've got to remember, when you're a learner, you're nervous, and you know everything's going to be a bit worrying when you're first starting. But yeah, this I think for a learner, I still think it's a great option and something you should look at. And for returning riders, you definitely want to look at this because you know, you can put some mufflers on it, and it'd sound fantastic. And it feels good. It's got a really nice riding position. Feels cool to ride. I love the 650cc parallel twin from Royal Enfield. I like the way it produces its power. Gearbox is great. Fueling's really good. I'm not having any issues whatsoever. Now, I've ridden the Classic 350, I've ridden the Interceptor, I've ridden the Continental GT, and now the Himalayan 450. And this is my favourite Royal Enfield so far, without a doubt. This is the bike that would suit me the best. Oh, it says I need fuel. Okay. I just noticed the fuel light on. But watch this here because people turn in. I like what they've done styling wise too with this bike. Colour scheme in this one is really appealing in the white. Oh, I thought I was in third, but I dropped it back down to first. Seat's great. I could sit on this seat for quite a while. And the shape of the seat allows you to move around, allows you to move forward, allows you to move back, so you can change your riding position up. It doesn't hold you in one position, which is fantastic. And that goes a long way to alleviating discomfort over time on a bike. Seen me? Yep. Those clouds are pretty dark and ominous. I thought I might have got wet this ride, but I've been pretty lucky so far. The engine has a nice bassy note when you're decelerating, which is cool. Let's put it into 6th gear at 60 kilometres an hour or 37 miles per hour and see how she goes. Yeah, very happy to tootle along at this speed. Coming up to a 40 kilometre an hour zone. Let's see, I'll leave it in 6th and see what happens. Yeah, it's doing it, but it's labouring. But not badly. 5th. I think 4th's better. It's pulling cleanly up to 60 in 4th from 40. Let's take it to 80. No problems at all. The suspension's firm, but it's not, it's controlled, it's not bouncy. Like, taking these bends and hitting bumps, there's no problems at all. Suspension's doing a good job. Yeah, we'll make it. Whoa, scrape the pegs. That took me by surprise, actually. I don't think I've ever scraped the pegs on a Royal Enfield before. I wonder if this is, the pegs are lower. The leg position's very comfortable for someone my height, like the very relaxed bend in the knee. And I think the pegs being lower, clearly, is helping it with that, just making it more comfortable. Yeah, I love this riding position, it's great. does encourage you to ride more spiritedly, which is a good thing. Very nice. Very nice, handles beautifully this bike. So the Shotgun 650 is, yep, I'm calling it, it's my favourite Royal Enfield thus far, and I highly recommend that you check this bike out. If you're a returning rider, experienced rider, yeah, it's still fun. I've been riding continuously for years. It's and I'm still enjoying this ride. I'm still finding it fun and comfortable. It's the perfect blend of the Continental GT and the Interceptor 650. 100% its riding position. There's nothing I would do to this bike. Like handlebars is great where it is. They're great where they are. The seat's great. On the Interceptor and the Continental, and the Interceptor 650, I would want to change the handlebars and the seat for that matter. I do believe that Royal Enfield have, you know, comfortable enough options as accessories, but I would change the handlebars and seat on the Interceptor. On the Continental GT, I would change probably the seat. The handlebars for that style of bike's fine. Yeah, I would just change the seat and then that bike would be fine, but this Shotgun 650 is pretty well right on the money. It's right where it is right now in terms of ergonomics. Performance, great. What a competent little package. And test ride all thanks to Royal Enfield of Ballarat, which is also Indian Motorcycle of Ballarat, which is where I bought my Indian. So thanks guys for letting me test ride the bike. Let's get some pics of it here now. Some close-ups. If you've made it this far guys, thanks very much for joining me for the ride. Again, yep, I highly recommend this bike. I think it's a little beauty. Yeah, that's a winner for sure, and it looks great too. I like this cowling setup, seat, design, it's great. Alright, thanks again guys. Next test ride will be the XSR 900. And I did test ride the Himalayan 450 before this. If you want to watch that video, it'll be on my channel. I'll put a link at the end of this one actually to both those videos once they're up. Thanks again guys, and until next time, bye for now.